Next is the Keith matter.
It's Judgment Day for alleged pastor David Keith. David Keith, who also doubles as an accountant with certain skill sets that can leave your company's account just as bare as Mother Hubbard's cupboard. Just ask Jim Coyle. More on him later. Keith appeared before Judge Pedro Jimenez, pleading guilty to
financial facilitation, first-degree crime, the max for which you could receive is 20 years. The second count is count 17 of that same indictment. Third-degree insurance fraud, the max for which you could receive is 5 years.
So who is this guy whose life is about to change forever? Well, Pastor Keith popped up on my radar screen last year when I received an email from Jim and Lisa Marie Coyle, the owners of RupCoe Plumbing and Heating.
You know what, David? There's never a trust issue. We totally trust you.
He's very, very smooth, very convincing.
Keith met Jim and Lisa at a church function. He weaseled his way into the family business and began creating false paper trails and swiped $750,000 from the 31-year-old family business.
And he made it known right away that he was a Christian and he was a pastor. And once he played the pastor card,
I don't think stealing $750,000 was what God had in mind, but it's what Pastor Keith did, and he conducted operations like this before in Little Rock, Arkansas, where back in 2005, he took thousands and got a Mercedes-Benz ripping off a church. He was sentenced to 50 months in federal prison and made more than $75,000 in restitution. Keith moved his operation up north, pastor at the Ebenezer Baptist Church in Newark. According to the indictment, he transferred some of RupCoe's money to fund his church.
Recommend that you serve 10 years on count 1, consecutive. Well, count 2, count 17 would be 4 years consecutive to that. You would have 4 years of parole ineligibility on the 10-year sentence, and you would forfeit all property seized from your persons at the time of the arrest, and pay restitution in the amount of $710,000.
So the infamous Pastor David Keith is going away for 14 years. I hope he likes orange jumpsuits. And when he gets out, he will owe Jim and Lisa Coyle $700,000.
Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty and no other reasons? Yes. Okay.
Do you feel like this nightmare is almost over?
Yes, definitely. We're at the end of the tunnel now, and we're just happy that we've got closure on this.
Pastor Keith will be sentenced on August 17th. As part of the plea agreement, he has to give Jim the Mercedes-Benz and the BMW he bought with Jim's money. Jim says he's going to sell those two vehicles. If you have a problem, send me an email to helpme@pix11.com.